So just in case for the YouTubers out there, welcome back everybody. We got episode, what number is it, Monkeys?
Uh, I, 9, 10.
9. Okay, sounds good to me. If it's not 9, you guys can blame Monkeys forever. Bananaslamjaron podcast. We talk about all things, anything Dota or life around Dota. We are partnered with Prediction, by the way, guys. So if you want to find us on Spotify and iTunes, just do all the stuff in the top right-hand corner of your screen if you're interested in finding us there. Otherwise, you can find us on my second YouTube channel, YouTube 2 in chat for me. And just making sure we get that out of the way because I haven't done that in a while. So, Monkeys, do you know what our topic is of today? Have you done your studying?
No,
Dude, I
because
literally
you
told
haven't
you.
told
I literally told you, man.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 days ago I told you. It's okay. He's ready anyways. We're going to be talking about the hopes for the next patch, Monkeys.
Oh, right. No, I
asked you
remember.
about
I
that.
remember. Dude, to be fair, I did tell you I was drunk that night. So
That is fair. You're right. You're right. Can't really hold you too accountable there. So, we are going to be talking about what we hope for in 7.28 or 8.00, whatever the next patch may be. My first question, Monkeys, to kick us off is we think, or at least we've been told, that there's going to be a new hero.
yeah.
Give me some hopes and dreams you have, the type of hero, what role it is, attribute. What are you hoping for? If you had to dream of a hero that could be entered into Dota.
I feel like we haven't gotten a new carry hero in a while. So I definitely think that a carry hero or that could definitely like carry slash mid something like that. Maybe not a too mobile hero. I feel like we've gotten so many mobile heroes recently, so I feel like maybe something that's more like damage based or something like that could be cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Dude,
I would say something
we're on
around
the
that.
same page here, bro. I said for the longest time, they've added a bunch of heroes with a bunch of buttons. And they've also
Yeah,
added a bunch of heroes that move all over the place. That's exactly what I've said. I've
yeah.
said, where are all the BSJ heroes? Where are the two passives,
Where's the
right-click
Ursas?
farming
Where's the
spell,
life stealer?
non-targeted abilities? Where are those heroes, man? Where are the new ones? The life stealers, the Ursas? I don't want to have to aim all my shit. I just want to right click. So no, I actually think a right click carry of any sort, yeah, they can put a little twist on it if they want, but
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
maybe they do like, you know, one vector targeting spell or something for a carry, just to like add some spice to the carry role, because carries typically don't really have that aspect of the game right now. So maybe they'll do some mechanic like that for it. But that would definitely be something that I think would be good for the game.
There has to be some, like, because they've added all these new heroes with all these like fun spells. Like I think Pangolier, Willow, Void Spirit, all these heroes are super fun, right? Snapfire. But
Yeah.
like they haven't put a new twist on the carry roll. Kind of like you're saying, like mix it up a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe add a little bit of flavor. But we haven't mixed up the carry roll in a while. I want to be able to, like, when I'm just going to go farm, I want to pick something new,
Yeah,
And
for
there's a
sure.
lot of people out there that aren't good at pushing buttons. Why are we catering to all the people that are good at pushing buttons? So, where are the Bristlebacks, the Wraith Kings? That's what we're
Oh
looking
my
for.
God,
So,
Bristle is so boring, BSJ.
dude,
I don't want another Bristle.
okay, maybe Bristle was a little bit too far, but the sentiment, the sentiment is there. A ranged strength carry that isn't Huskar would also be nice. Somebody mentioned ranged strength carry, so yeah, something like that would be nice. I was
Yeah.
thinking like another hero like Lone Druid and Troll that can swap between melee and ranged, but have it where it would be really cool is if like one or the other, I don't really care which, like if they're in melee, all of their spells are like magical based spells, and then in ranged form they turn into like a right clicker, or like vice versa, kind of like Terrorblade, where they're really much more powerful in ranged form or something, or
Yeah.
melee form, but have them be like a completely different hero.
Yeah,
That'd be
that
cool.
could definitely be cool. Kind of like a kind of just like I mean like a druid spellcaster, rather than lone druid.
It's almost like
Like more.
Morph Terrorblade combined, where you're
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
ult dependent, but the ult like completely changes your hero. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that would be really
yeah, for
cool.
sure. That does sound like a cool concept.
That's like my if I worked for Valve, that's about the extent of creativity that I could offer to the situation.
I mean, hell, you put a lot more thought into it than me. I mean, to be fair, I feel like Ice Frog typically does a really good job of, coming up with new ideas and being able to implement heroes into the meta in like a very seamless way. So, whatever it ends up happening, I'm sure it's going to be cool and it's going to add some spice to the game. And I just look forward to it as always.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait for the next patch. I've only started playing Dota again
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure you might be on the same page as me, which we can talk about before the patch. Is I just want to make sure I'm warmed up and ready. I'm at as close to 100% as possible once the patch drops. I don't
Hmm.
give a shit about this patch, man. I don't need to see Blade Mail Spectre or Ag Sven anymore. I just make sure my fingers are warmed up to right click creeps and maybe
Gotta have
miss some
those magic
spears.
fingers.
Yeah. Is that about what you're doing right now? Like, I'm not going to reference the kick too much because you've talked about it a lot, but in regards to the patch, as well as like I've seen you've been streaming a lot, what's your plans, man? What are you doing until
I
the
mean,
patch,
I
when the
mean,
patch
you, eh,
drops?
you can ask me about the kick if you want. I mean, I'm not
Don't need
like.
to be awkward about it, monkeys. I'm not trying to create so much tension in the room right now.
um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This year was just a hard year for me, so I really wasn't playing many pubs because of various reasons. Um, but now that I'm not on a team anymore, it's kind of like, do I want to just lay in bed for 16 hours a day, or do I want to actually do something productive with my time? So I've literally just I have adopted the mindset of as soon as I wake up, I'm giving myself like 15 minutes to sit down on my computer and turn on the stream. So it like that's just I just force myself to basically, and I've literally streamed like I would say 90% of the time I've been awake
Yeah, I've
for
been
the
seeing
last
you
week.
stream a lot. You got to be a little bit careful about the burnout, but
I
I
mean
know you're.
honestly, that's not really gonna matter. I need to do something that keeps me occupied.
I
Otherwise, it's
gotcha.
just
I
gonna
know.
be
I know
a
the feeling. Well, I'm sure a lot of us out there all know this feeling, and what I'm making sure for the viewers at home is there's no way the only reason you're streaming is because you need to keep yourself busy. You're doing it for the love of the game and the love of your viewership. Am I right,
Oh,
monkeys?
absolutely. I
Okay.
mean, I just forgot to mention that. So
Yeah, that's something that he assumes that you know. But just a reminder out there in case any of you people need some reassurance. That is the main
thank
reason.
thank you for clarifying, BSJ.
Yeah, but when he's on a team, he has to take care of his team first. But now, you guys no longer on the back seat as in terms of priority. Yeah, no, it feels good to be productive, man. I agree. When in doubt, man, just do something good for yourself. Do something productive, whether that's
Yeah,
work, hobby, working out, whatever it is. Totally
yeah.
down for that.
I mean, that's literally my life right now. It's just like I'm trying to do 100 push-ups a day, and like I'm doing like 4 sets of 25 throughout the day, and then it's just
That's what
like,
Colley's having me do. Yeah.
and then it's just Dota, and that's just what my life is right now.
So, monkeys, I gotta be honest with you. When I heard you got kicked, I was really hoping it was Jenkins that was gonna replace you.
Just for
Because
the memes.
just because all we memed about at the summit was how many times Jenkins has been kicked for you. So
Yeah.
I was just hoping, but then I realized that the four Zoomers probably want to win games, so there's no way they're gonna add Jenkins to their team. But it's like at the end of the day, it would have been a solid meme at least for me. So not to
I
make
mean,
too light of your kicking, I'm just
no, I
that
mean,
was one of the
yeah,
first things that came to mind.
like, I mean, just to like clear things up, I honestly don't entirely blame them for the kick because like I was not motivated at all. Like like I literally felt like we were just playing the same tournament on repeat, basically the same team, same players, same prize pool, and like. There no lands in sight. The DPC season, yeah, I mean, hell, we're on our again. Wait, I don't know. Second wave of COVID, third wave now. Like I don't know.
The
Like
world's a
our
shitty place right now, man.
yeah, yeah. Like our borders aren't going to open up anytime soon. I don't even know if the DPC season is actually going to start in February, like Val said. I mean, I definitely, I was basically at a point where like anytime we scrimmed, like I would get frustrated with them or they would get frustrated with me, and then it would just like really tire me out, and then I wouldn't want to play pubs after we would do like 5 hour day of like scrims and like replay review and stuff, and then like I just wasn't playing any Dota. So I don't really think they were entirely in the wrong. I really lost all motivation to
Dude,
like
I mean,
like keep up to. keep up to pace with like everything.
Yeah, we
Basically.
talked about it in the NA versus like EU discussion between you Gunners and or you Gunner and Husky. It wasn't just
Yeah.
about like the region being like in question. It was also about the support for the region. You know, the
Yeah.
fact that there's not too much going on right now. Like you said, the tournaments are pretty small. They're pretty much on repeat. And for me, it's just like I don't even know how you guys motivated. The only thing for me that's really keeping me motivated is trying to be a better like content creator, as well as like recently I've come to the acknowledgement and the acceptance that you don't have to feed down mid to ruin a pub, monkeys. That's what I've realized. You know that
True.
my tilt that's been caused by focusing on the mistakes of my teammates has been a serious issue. So that's what I've been focusing on the last month or two.
Trust me, I've been in your exact shoes, BSJ.
Everyone that's played Dota has at least experienced this sometimes.
Yeah.
And you know, some people more than others, like myself, we focus on it too much, and that's what I've been trying to focus on. You know, you can acknowledge your teammates' mistakes, accept them, and then you just gotta do with it what you will. Did you lose your mid tower because of it? Did you lose the game because of it? Did your game get ruined and you have to hope they throw the game because of it? You know, what is it? So that's what I've been working on myself, and I found as long as you have something to work on, life's just life's is just a bit better because then
For sure.
you have something to distract you from
Yeah.
the
I mean,
world, if you could
I mean,
say.
for example, with me, like over the last 3 weeks, I mean, dude, my mentality was in such a negative place by like the beginning of October.
It
Like,
affects you in
holy
real
shit,
life just
dude,
as
I
much or
was like,
more. Yeah.
I was gone mentally this year, and over the last 3 weeks, I kind of like came to the realization. I was just like, all right, look, Jaron, you are not the person that you want to be right now. You gotta like snap out of this funk you're in, and just like you just gotta do better because the way you've treated like your friends and like the people around you for the last few months has just been it's just been garbage. And
I was
so
gonna
like
tell you,
I
monkeys, you've kind of treated me like garbage.
I mean, you deserved it though, so that's fine.
Touche. Touche.
but yeah, it's definitely I don't know, it's a process, get yourself back into a positive mentality, especially with like the state of the world and everything right now. But I feel like I'm doing better, and I'm on the up and up, so that's the positive.
Yeah, man, I was excited. I woke up this morning at like 11 a.m. or so, and I saw a monkey stream, and I was like, "Damn, something to tune into." I gave a little
Yeah.
meme in chat, gave my little minor flame or whatever, and then
And then you dipped out before I responded.
every Dota stream, I always tune in for like 10 minutes, and then I usually don't have time to, or like I'm usually go do something else, so I always
Yeah.
dip in for like 10 minutes. That's kind of just how I go. But I think it's an important lesson for people is just like if something's wrong in your life, maybe you're not good enough at Dota that you want to be, maybe something's struggling, just do the next right thing, man. I think it's such simple advice. It sounds like, just do it for it, but
Yeah.
it's like your situation ain't going to be fixed over time
Yeah.
or overnight. It's going to be fixed
Yeah,
over
yeah.
time. And I think for you, you're showing it, right? Like you said, you clearly weren't in a great place and now it's like all you're doing is trying to make sure you wake up and do the next best thing. And that's kudos to you, man. That's all you really can do. And
Yeah.
that's what I've realized with my raging tilt is that I'm not going to be fixed overnight. I'm not going to suddenly stop flaming my teammates. But what I can do is try to focus on every time I do it and try
Yeah.
not to do it the next time.
It's just I think something not I wouldn't say just Dota players lack, but I'm just people in general is just the ability to self-reflect and
Yeah,
just be
self
like
awareness, big thing.
just be like what are my actions doing to cause like the situations that I'm constantly seeing, and like the situations that are arising that I'm not liking and stuff. And I think it's a super valuable tool to just be able to like look at yourself and be like, oh, maybe if I change X, Y, and Z, then I won't run into A, B, and C anymore. And it's just like, it really is that simple sometimes.
You know what I think is a big thing before we move back on to the original topic that I did tell people I promised I would talk about is that I think self awareness, it's important to be confident about who you think you are, whether or not that's good or bad. But it's also important to be ready to be told you don't know who you are or like that
Hmm.
you don't know as much about yourself that you should.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had that moment where you feel like somebody knows you better than you know yourself?
I
right?
mean, I've definitely had people like tell me I do something or like certain things consistently, and I just think to myself, oh wow, I had no idea that I
We
did
all
that
have
all the
bad
time.
habits, man. We all
Like,
have our vices. We all have our bad habits. And I think the
yeah.
most important thing is to be receptive to those. That can be a Dota habit, can be a real
Hmm.
life habit. Like you said, I've had habits of treating friends poorly too. Like I don't intentionally shit on them or whatever. It's just like there's things that we all do that could be better. And I think
Yeah.
it's really important that in this current time, what I've been seeing a lot of lack of is the willingness for people to be open to the fact that they could be wrong about something,
Hmm.
myself included. I think I lacked that for a really long time, and I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means now, but I'm trying to make an effort towards being open to more criticism in real life. I think that's the biggest thing for me. And I'm realizing as a Dota player that being a better person in real life can actually help you be a better Dota player because
Oh,
being a
absolutely.
non-tilt raging machine will actually make you play better in Dota. It's crazy. The emotions actually play a large part in
It
any
really
like
does.
performance
Especially in
competition,
team games.
dude.
Especially in team games.
Especially where the communication aspect, like if you come off passive aggressive or frustrated,
But
it will make
that
everyone else play worse.
that's one thing that dude, passive me being passive aggressive, that is the hardest thing that I have to overcome. I'm not gonna lie. Especially it's like right after losses or like tough
It's so
losses,
hard, dude.
dude. I know it every time. Like even when I'm speaking, I'm like, I know I'm being passive aggressive right now, and I know I shouldn't be doing this, but like I just come off that way whenever I'm like frustrated from a bad loss, and I'm like, I just need to not talk for like 10 minutes after. Like, I need to like walk around. I need to get out of. I can't talk to people. I just need to walk away. Like,
I think what I want to tell you guys out there, I've learned a few lessons along the way, and recently, like very valuable life lessons from very smart people that I respect. And what
hmm.
I've learned as one of the major things for me to focus on is these one of the main points of causing you to be frustrated and become a toxic individual is to have expectations. Things that you think should happen or are supposed to happen can lead to you being some of the most toxic shitter out there. Like whether it's in
Hmm.
Dota or whether it's in life, like having expectations of your teammates or thinking a game should go a certain way or thinking somebody is supposed to do this. That's exactly how you end up being let down, frustrated. And I'm not saying just, hey, make everyone treat you like shit. You don't expect anything. The point is if they mess up, there's nothing you could really do about it. You
Yeah.
can maybe let them know, maybe tell them it hurts your feelings or whatever, but there's nothing you could have done about something they were supposed to do. And
Yeah.
I've realized it's like if my teammates are raging or feeding, like I can't stop them. If like somebody's being toxic to me in life, I can let them know they're being toxic, but that's about it. What else
Yeah.
am I supposed to do? Like what else can I do to stop them? And
Yeah.
it's not my job to stop them. It's my job to do the best I can in response. And that's a big life lesson that I've learned, and I am only
For sure.
slowly beginning to
It's
actually
difficult.
apply
It's
it.
difficult to implement. It is.
Dude,
It
yeah,
really is.
implement. Yeah, that's the right word. Dude, it's like the thing is, people say, "How do you just do that?" And it's like, well, I'm not just doing it. It's a constant effort to think about and try to get that done. So
Yeah.
implement it in my life in every facet. But with that being said, everyone knows we're streaming. Everyone knows we're learning life lessons. But the real brass tacks is, other than the new hero, number one change you want in the next patch, monkeys. Perfect segue. Your turn.
Flawless. um. I mean, you're gonna think I'm super nerdy for this, but I want new tree juking spots.
Nice. Dude, that's nice. That's like a straight buff to your MMR. Like your MMR gets inflated every single time there's new tree jukes.
Everyone always gives me shit for like how much I love just like having a quelling blade or like three tangos and just running around through just a random area of the map
That's
just
all the
because I've
monkeys clips on
memorized the
Reddit,
trees.
man. It's you
But
just
like,
like juking four
dude,
heroes and living or
it
some
is
shit.
my favorite thing to do. Just making people lose because I understand fog of war so well. I literally memorize trees and what trees I can cut with quelling blades or whatever, so I can open up pathways and stuff. And like, I just memorize it all, and no one else does. And it works out for me so frequently. And it's like, oh, I love it, BSJ. It's my favorite thing in Dota.
That's a really cool answer, monkeys. I hadn't thought about it, but the minute you brought it up, I'm like, Makes sense. That's definitely monkeys. I just straight up want something that changes the way the map gets played. Like it doesn't matter what it is exactly. It could be an objective, it could be like a rework of like the jungles or whatever, but like I feel like the map right now is like really solved. People kind of know exactly where to play, when to invade the triangle, when to go Roche, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to something that just drastically messes that up. Because the one
Hmm.
thing I love about new patches right when they come out, especially when I'm watching competitive Dota, is when it looks like even the best players in the world are kind of just running around not knowing what's optimal
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
kind of playing the
yeah,
game.
they're just lost, dude. I remember when the jungle was changed, so it was like actually just like four separate jungles and like just super divided and like kind of symmetrical. I remember like looking at all of the high grounds and stuff and just being like, what is happening? Like, what are these stairs? What are those stairs? Wait, you can walk up this ramp? Like, it's just I don't know. Sometimes I play Dota before actually looking at the map changes, and I get into the game, and I'm just like, "Oh god, this is gonna take me at least 100 games to get used to."
I yeah, it's like even like certain camps are more dangerous because they're on the
Yeah,
low ground and like all that kind of stuff. You learn like certain parts of the map are like, not dead lane, but like the dead zone, the danger zone, and it's like that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking forward to, kind of relearning again, optimally playing. Like, obviously the buffs and nerfs to items, but I wouldn't mind again a couple new items. It's amazing how much of a wrench in the equation it is when you just throw three or four new options into the game, whether that's heroes, items, neutral items. I actually
yeah.
want them to keep neutral items. I don't know about you. Are you on the same page?
I I like where neutral items have kind of gotten to, but like I don't know. I feel like adding more neutral items might be weird, or like taking neutral items I don't really know how they're gonna keep changing or like keep neutral items fresh per se.
Interesting. Okay.
But
Because I'm of
I
the
do I
opinion that
like
I
the
want to
idea of it.
change them or add new ones or like something.
Hmm.
But
I just think it might be hard because like I feel like it took a really long time for each tier of neutral items to get to the balanced area that they're in right now. So I feel like if you just kind of throw in an extra two neutral items in each tier or something, then it's like, oh, the RNG gets completely messed up, and like you're not really seeing this similar items on each team anymore, and like kind of that aspect of it.
the
Because
thing go
in the
ahead.
beginning of neutral items, one team could get what three consumable items for in tier one, and the other team would get like a shovel, an ocean heart, and like whatever,
And
and
as a
like
carry, you could actually get a bunch of them in your inventory. So you could
yeah,
have like broom handle, iron talon, and a
yeah, yeah,
ironwood tree
exactly.
or
So
some shit.
so I feel like I mean maybe they'll be able to do it seamlessly, but it's just in my head I feel like it would be a hard thing to just constantly change and keep fresh. But maybe I'm wrong. It's just personally I think it might be a bit hard.
Well, I think right now they've done a decent job of putting most of the neutral items on like a similar caliber of like how good they are.
Yeah.
So at least I think going in, the only difference I would see here is they've learned the impact that these neutral items have on like a hero in a game or whatever, and like how much strength they
Hmm.
actually supply you with. So if they were to add new neutral items, I don't think it would be nearly as chaotic as it was before, just because they should have a decent idea of like if the neutral item offers something different, right? That's the idea that the degree to which it offers whatever that is would be of similar caliber to what is currently out there.
Yeah.
So that's what I would think at least. But I also would you be surprised if they just remove them? Would you be surprised if they take them out of the
I
game?
I really wouldn't. I feel like I mean the way I've always viewed Dota is it is just a constantly evolving game, and you rarely run into the same exact type of Dota for more than a couple years. Like we had the shrine meta for like what 2 years, 2.5 years or so, and then just suddenly shrines are completely gone. We started out with 5 shrines in the base, 2 shrines in each jungle, and then it went down to no shrines in base 2 shrine or 1 shrine in each jungle, and then it went down to just a shrine in the off lane, and then shrines are just gone. And that was a building that like it took me probably about a year to like genuinely get used to shrines, and then they just removed them. They're like, no more shrines. Let's just make them outposts. And it's like, okay, now we have an entirely new objective to play around. Like, I feel like that's kind of what makes Dota so fun and just unique is that it it doesn't really matter, what the new things are, or what they remove. Like Dota is always going to be this fresh game that that you're gonna have to relearn like every couple of years because they just change it so much, and I think that is part of the fun of Dota, but I do think it's really hard for casual players to kind of keep up with all of the changes and stuff because obviously like not having that continuity uh
Continuity,
between
buddy.
patch or yeah, continuity, sorry.
I got you. Don't
uh,
worry.
through patches, it's just hard to like keep up with all of the meta shifts and everything. I feel as like a casual player, but as a competitive player, I absolutely love like all of the changes and stuff. So
Yeah, for sure, man. I think for me the way I look at it is that the new things to learn in the new patch would have made it so enjoyable for me is that people ask me like why are you practicing Spectre if she's going to get nerfed in like 4 days?
hmm
And the cool thing about it is what people seem to not realize is unless they shit drastically rework a hero, the heroes are always good for the same reasons. You know, it's
yeah,
like the patches where you can abuse dispersion and like have a little bit of slower paced games. Spectre will be a good hero, right? Like that's just what makes Spectre a strong hero. So it's
yeah,
like really cool for me because over time I've learned like if this type of situation favors this type of hero, this hero's good against these heroes, all that kind of stuff. None of that really changes. Like PA's always been good against anti-mage. You know, like Void's always been good against Slark. Like that's just how it goes. And it's like in a new patch, all of these crazy things are happening, but now I like the theory crafting aspect of, okay, what have I learned in past patches and how can I try to apply it to what I think is going to happen in this patch? And I think that's been really cool the last few patches. That's been like a new experience for me. And I would implore people to think about the fact that in a new patch or in a current patch that you've been in for a long time, try to remember that heroes are always broken for the same reasons, whether it's the items they buy, whether it's the way they play the game, whether it's the matchups they like, and try to like use that knowledge carrying you into a new patch because it can make the chaos be maybe just a tad bit less chaotic, and it can also help you maybe spot out some broken shit before other people see it. So
yeah,
like when you
and
think a new hero or a new item is going to be broken, like say Blade Mail is going to be broken next patch, a hero like Spectre that utilizes Blade Mail would probably be better.
yeah,
Something to think about there. What were you going to say?
and also I just wanted to kind of add on to that is like for example, remember when bounty runes gave experience, right? So
Yeah.
something like that was able to something as like niche as that was able to enable a lot of unique for position 4 heroes because it would basically allow position 4s to like camp middle for like 2 minutes, and then they would basically be able to come back into the
Wasn't it like
game
one
by
power rune and one bounty?
yeah,
Is that what was happening?
and the
Yeah.
bounty rune would always give like 100 XP and then 150, 100 or 200 or
Yeah, I
something.
remember
But
that.
that would allow
And it was
these
only for the
position
person that
fours.
picked it up.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, I
but
forgot
that would
about that.
allow these position fours that it would allow them to like camp mid and like stay level 1, but then they would be able to secure runes and like get the XP. But then what would end up happening is like tri-lane mid metas because everyone's like fighting over these bounty runes. So they're like, we can't just give this Earth Spirit like free roam around the map, and then it's really interesting when there's new objectives like that because it entirely changes the entire mentality of the game because like when those bounty runes were there, it's like, all right, every 2 minutes we are fighting for these bounty runes. We're not just giving these up for free because like it gives you such a huge lead and
Yeah,
experience,
you have to
right?
learn like what heroes capitalize on that new
Yeah,
mechanic, right? Like that's the
yeah,
crazy thing.
exactly.
Like you said, like in that patch, you couldn't pick like a Lena 4
Yeah,
because you can't be a 4
because
position
yeah,
that can't roam. You
yeah,
have to be able to roam.
exactly.
It's cool. Like for you, like you mentioned, like all these new objectives and stuff, and how like they play into the game. That's exactly what I mean. It's like, okay, I know this new objective is going to be important. What
Yeah,
kind of
but
heroes like this
Yeah,
shit?
yeah, but you have to be able to like use the critical thinking and be able to figure out ahead of time what heroes are actually going to be able to be good around those objectives, or be able to actually use those objectives very very fluidly throughout the game, and enable them to be the hero that it wants to be, right?
Absolutely. I that's the favorite part about patches for me. And I would ask you, since we can have a chance to sell out a little bit or whatever, what kind of content are you making around the new patch? Why are people gonna watch you, buddy? Why what are you gonna be doing? Are you gonna be releasing any guides or any reviews or any OP strats on your
Uh,
stream or anything like that? You gonna be juking some trees? What are we gonna see?
I mean, I don't know. I always just answer questions that people ask me.
Are you gonna
So
be
like,
passively aggressively flaming your chat
oh,
or what?
I mean, absolutely.
Okay. So if people want to come in for some passive aggressive flame on the chat, you guys know where to go. Twitch.tv/monkeysforever, man. Or monkeys_forever. Something like
Yes,
that.
yes, monkeys underscore
Yeah, I was
forever.
mainly absolute CK is on to me right now. I definitely was just asking you so I could make sure I did it first, rather than whatever you were gonna do. But I already take care of the passively aggressively flaming my chat. So
I
um,
mean, you know, I do want to get to making a YouTube channel because, like, for example, today I did an educational game where I played mid against Quinn, and I just, I mean, probably wasn't the best example because it ended up being a 15-minute victory because it gave up at like 13 minutes or something. So probably not the best example of an educational game, but I do those like fairly frequently, and I feel like it's just it's good to be able to save content like that because I mean, over the past 2 years, I've done so much educational content, and it's just lost in the void that's Twitch now. Like
that is
I'm
the
just,
exact realization I had back in January.
hmm
I'll give a shout out to Collie for hypothetically, metaphorically slapping me in the face about that fact happening.
yeah,
Highly recommend it. Not only does it like get your more of your content out there, but it's like there's a lot of people that just don't find your stream on Twitch. Like they just
yeah,
you and I have been streaming for so long. We all the time have people come to our
dude,
stream saying, "I've
people
never seen you
still,
stream
yeah,
before."
yeah, I know.
And I'm telling you, I've had at least I could probably count 1,000 times in the last 9 months that I've had people come into my channel and say, "Hey BSJ, found you from YouTube, excited to see your live stream." And then they see me flame and rage like crazy, and they never
And they're
come
like, oh
back.
fuck that.
But they found my channel, so just to
That's your free advertising.
yeah. So highly recommend that if you think you already have content on your stream that you could put also on YouTube just for more people to see. No downside. No downside to that
For sure.
possibly happening. A new patch coming out, so that's the best time to do
Yep,
it.
perfect time. You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm just giving you that little metaphorical slap in the
The
face.
the cogs are turning, BSJ. I see what you see.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Just making sure. But yeah. So when it comes to the patch, I think the big thing for me also is that I took like the last 3 weeks or so off. I just like I said when I say off, it's like I was casting a tournament and then I was doing like coaching
Yeah.
sessions and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna let my burning passion to play Dota. I'm gonna let
Your
that
thirst.
battery recharge a little bit. I'm gonna let it recharge, and now I'm ready to go ham bone calzone is how I like to say it, monkeys. And
Very nice.
just letting you know, I'm gonna be streaming every day from like 5 p.m. to 1. If you could be done by 5, that'd just be great. Maybe throw
Well,
a little host in
I do like
there.
14-hour streams, BSJ. So it might be hard
I'm
to
trying to get
avoid
some
that one.
viewers here, so
You get way more viewers than me, anyways.
dude,
I'm sure you're fine.
last time you went ham with the streaming, you took all my viewers, dude. I don't think
I
you.
I remember people would send me clips of you complaining about it. You're just like, I just don't get it, man. Monkeys has all my viewers.
I go to cast TI and I come back to all my viewers cheating on me for monkeys. What am I supposed to do here? God. Nah, I'm just messing. It's like for me, like dude, streaming is hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
it's whoever
I,
streamed the most recently.
yeah,
That's all it is.
it really is, and I'm sure maybe Mason will eventually take a break, and someone will get all of Mason's viewers, like they really will, because all those viewers will just be on Twitch looking for a stream.
Eventually, they're gonna nerf troll Lifestealer PA, and Mason's gonna drop 2,000 MMR, and then nobody's gonna want to watch him anymore. Nah, I'm kidding. But nah, it's a funny dynamic of streaming. But welcome back to the stream team, monkeys.
Thank
I
you.
may not have missed you because of the viewers, but I'm sure a lot of the viewers did miss you. So all the sentiment is there.
Well,
So
it's good to be back, VSJ, and
yeah.
I hope to see you more in pubs, because I literally I haven't seen you in a pub like once, like at all.
Yeah, the time where you finally started playing, I was taking my
Yeah,
break.
that's true.
So,
So hopefully moving forward, we actually
dude,
see
today
each
was a
other more.
funny day because I was playing on my like 7.8K account or whatever, and I usually when I play on that account, I just play heroes I haven't played yet. Heroes I'm
Uh,
trying to learn or whatever. But since I haven't played in like 3 weeks, I decided to just come back. I'm like, I'm gonna pick all the broken meta shit, but I'm just gonna try to get back in the groove.
Yeah.
And I had like every game I was just hard countered in lane, and I was shitting on people. And I'm like, this is great because these guys are ranked like 400, and it's like perfect educational content to show if you just play the lane better than them, it doesn't matter if the matchup's bad for you. So
Yeah.
perfect content there. Got the good old Spectre into Viper matchup and the Anti-Mage into Slardar matchup. All the really fun ones to play when you're carry, and dumpster them back to the Stone Age in the words of Charlon Qual. So didn't get the lane against you though, Monkeys. So
Well, I just first pick Lesh every game, and
the Ryoyo
it's
strategy.
been working out.
See.
Yeah, Lesh and Void. You can literally look at my page. It's literally just Lesh and Void Spirit every game. The people have started first picking Lesh against me just so it gets auto banned or whatever because it's so annoying to play.
Lesh is weird, man. It's just
Dude.
a coincidence, I think. But every time I play Lesh offlane, my other two lanes lose horribly. I actually don't understand. I'm like, I'm not shitting you. 5 games in a row, I played it offlane, and every game my other two lanes lost miserably. And I was like third, fourth picking it or whatever. I wasn't like saving for last pick or some shit and taking the good pick. I was just playing a normal game of Lesh, and I was like, guys, the other two lanes now. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So,
But see, you can't get discouraged by stuff like that because like literally every game I play Lesh, it's a good lane. Like,
it definitely
every
skews
single
your
time.
perspective of a hero, though.
It does.
If you're like,
It does. For
I
sure.
understand. I've been talking about not worrying about my teammates, but I will say, if the games go well or not, it does skew your perception of a hero if you lose like 5 games in a row, even if it was because of your teammates. So that's something I definitely have to be careful of as well. Just like folding pocket jacks in poker because you lost with them 5 times in a row. It's like maybe you shouldn't do that. I've been comparing my teammates to cards a lot recently, by the way. In terms of like maybe just get dealt a bad hand. Maybe your teammates just suck. It's like sometimes you have a jug those 0 damage items against Spectre Viper. Like, what are you gonna do? You're never gonna kill anybody, and that's just how it goes. We never killed anybody, so that's I've just noticed I tilt a lot less when I do that. And moving into the new patch, I'm sticking to it.
I mean,
Monkeys,
hey man, if you
that's
find
when all
something
the
that
trash
works,
cans come out.
if you find something that works, you shouldn't give it up.
You know that's when all the trash cans come out.
What, new
Monkeys.
patches?
When
Oh
the new
yeah,
patch
yeah,
comes out.
the people
Not
who
only is
haven't
it the
played
people that
in-
haven't played in a while, but the people that were copying shit from the previous meta and actually have no idea why it was working and just picked it and bought the items. That's when they come out in full force too.
It is my least favorite thing when a new patch comes out and you just see like 7 of the same heroes from the last patch and just nobody's trying new shit. And you're just like, dude, there's a new patch. Just experiment, do new things, have fun. Like, why are you just playing Spectre every game?
That's when you learn about the guys who have no creativity, the Bulbas of the NA region. That's when you learn. That's when they're exposed. They have no choice. They don't know any better. So that's one of the best parts about the patch. You get to expose people, but one of the worst parts is you have to play with them all the time. So
but at least you have 25 avoids now.
Yeah, that is true. My Smurf account, my 7800 account, my Dota Plus ran out. So I have to go renew that. And people may say, why do you have Dota Plus on your Smurf? It's for those avoids, man.
Dude, the avoids are so value.
I had to play with Charismatic on my team today. I almost made sure I bought Dota Plus right then and there. To be fair, he actually wasn't toxic that game. He was just bad, but it's like...
my new avoid strategy is every single time I have a carry player that doesn't know, like he doesn't know what he's doing, he's avoided. Just on the avoid list. I'm avoiding every bad carry player, so hopefully I only get decent carry player.
What about getting all the offlaners on your team now? Isn't that something you're concerned about? I usually avoid offlaners. So you're thinking you'll be the one that adjusts. You just want to be able to play offlane with a decent carry player. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
I feel like it's a solid strategy. Well, I mean, at least in this patch, it's a solid strategy. I feel like in this patch, having a good carry player is like really important because like if you have, I mean, dude, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've had like a 1 in 8 Spectre by 25 minutes in the game, and it's just like, dude, you died in the same exact place 6 times. When are you gonna grow a brain and go, maybe I shouldn't farm in this same spot?
Do you know why carries feed, Monkeys?
Because
of expectation,
I feel like,
Monkeys.
Oh,
They expect to have a perfect lane. They expect to have
Yeah,
free farm.
yeah.
They
Carry players are
expect
spoiled.
for the world to be revolving around their safety.
You're not
And
wrong.
they expect, if they were allowed to farm ancients the previous game, that they should be able to farm ancients that game. And they will keep playing as if their expectations are being met. Even if they're in a completely dumpster lane, they'll keep playing aggressive. Even if they're not allowed to farm ancients, they will still farm ancients. And that is why they feed monkeys.
I believe it, and it's
Prove
frustrating
me
as hell.
wrong.
Yeah,
Prove me wrong right
I
now.
can prove you right, dude.
Monkeys, do it. Do it, man.
I all I gotta say, BSJ, is I've been very disappointed with carry players over the past few days, and
It's bad, man. They're clueless.
I've avoided like 14 carry players literally in the last 3 days, and I'm hoping to avoid another 11.
But next patch, I think the dynamic of power is going to shift back to the mid lane. That's my
Yeah,
prediction. Every patch, it seems
probably.
like there's one role that gets most of the farm or has most of the
and
impact.
we
Right now,
just
it's
had
definitely
off lane.
carry.
Yeah, we just had off lane. Now it's carry.
Yeah, I think that they'll somehow shift it back to mid lane.
Probably.
It's hard to always
I can see
predict,
it.
but this meta was very 4 protect 1, so I agree this patch, the most value ban on bad players in their own role would be carry. So I actually think 5 is even more important because of how important the 1 is. I think 5 positions like Dubu have a lot more impact in the game this patch than they would otherwise. It's not because I'm not saying they're getting inflated MMR. I'm saying like as a 5, some patches you only have so much impact on the actual game that it's hard to climb if you don't.
I'm hoping that position 5s aren't required to be this melee body anymore as well in the new patch. I'm hoping that 5s can actually be like some spellcaster like Dark Willow or something
The
again.
4 protect 1 has kind of turned them into gank tankers. It's kind of their
exactly.
whole job is to make sure their carry doesn't
It's
fucking
literally
die,
like
right?
win the lane for your carry and then
Make sure
just
you feed
make
for your
him
carry.
make him not die for the rest of the game. Like that's what you do basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I say like I'm pretty sure if they just shift the dynamic of the power to the mid lane, I'm pretty sure that'll change a lot, right?
Yeah.
They'll probably pick more independent 5s, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of jungling carries, you'll get a bunch of 5s that take over the bottom lane or safe lane once they want to go jungle. If you get like the Lycans back, a lot of it's that these like early carries can't even jungle that well until like 7-8 minutes in the game, so you have to protect them until then. So you have to be a babysitting 5. Kind of interesting how much that factor changes so much about like 5 positions and stuff. What heroes are good, because people will come back and say, BSJ, I woke up and Undying's picked our game. Why? And it's like, well, let me tell you a little bit about the carry hero pool right now. And then heroes like Disruptor, who are pretty greedy 5s, weak in lane. They just Lion. Those are the definition of like the worst heroes in Dota right now. Spear breakers, like these aggressive, greedy-ish type supports that are pick off based. It's not about picking the opponent off, man. It's about gank tanking for the carry.
Yeah.
But making sure we stay about in the time limit here, Monkeys. Do you have any final hopes, dreams for the patch? When do you think it is?
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm not even expecting November anymore. I had high hopes for Valve to be like, all right, we're gonna drop it mid-November or something, but
You're killing me internally, Monkeys.
now I'm expecting like December or maybe even later. Who knows? Valve time XD.
So I know you've been having a bit of a tough time and you're like working on being a little more PMA, but can you stop being such a negative Nancy? Valve will pull through. We don't I don't have any expectations, Monkeys. I don't have any expectations.
That's true.
I don't want to be led to disappointment.
No expectations, BSJ.
But I think it'll be the day after Thanksgiving, because we all know Gaben probably eats a lot on Thanksgiving. So he's going to make sure he gets his fill, and then he's going to be ready to release it the day after. That's my prediction.
There you go.
So on that note,
that's going to be Gabe's way of showing his thanks to the Dota community, right?
Exactly, giving thanks. Exactly. On that note, buddy, always nice talking to you. We're done with another episode of the Bananaslamjaron podcast. Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you next time.
Yep. Have a good one, everyone.